Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to introduce Shanu S. Hinduja. She's a senior member of the Hinduja family. Shanu S. Hinduja is the chair of the Hinduja Bank Switzerland Limited, chair of the Hinduja Foundation US, and co-chair of and director of Hinduja Global Solutions Incorporated. Shanu is a close supporter of the Duke of Edinburgh Award and the UN Global Accelerator, a program designed to foster entrepreneurial ideas to tackle today's economic challenges. Where's the water? Through the Hinduja Foundation and alongside her father, the noted entrepreneur and philanthropist, Mr. S. P. Hinduja, she has provided scholarships at Columbia University, Massachusetts General Hospital, and Cambridge University, and is a founding member of His Serene Highness Prince Albert of Monaco Environmental Focus Foundation. Shanu works closely with her sister Vinu and her children Karam and Ladvinia. I'm also delighted to announce that Shanu S. Hinduja has accepted the chair as Professor of Leadership at the University of Bolton Institute of Management, UK. Would you please put your hands together for Shanu S. Hinduja?
Honored guests, and I would like to make a special mention for Baroness Trish to be here for me, and my kind VC who's accepted me at University of Bolton just right now. Esteemed women, esteemed men, and especially the men who are part of women, as we spell W-O-M-E-N. I'm honored to be here. For the men who are not part of women, a warning, I'm speaking my truth here today. So you have a fair chance to stay or leave. It is a real pleasure to be speaking to you today on a matter so close to my heart, what it means to be a working woman in today's world. Today is especially personal for me. I'm an internationalist at heart, and it has always been my passion to see the world as one. You may be aware that British-Indian cooperation speaks to my family's experience. Since my grandfather, Parmanand Deepchand Hinduja, set up his international trading business in what was then Bombay, my family has complemented its enduring roots in India with a fondness for crossing continents. Our group visionary, our leader, the man who took up the baton from his father, who also happens to be my own extraordinary father, S.P. Hinduja, found a home in multicultural London. My sister Vinu spends her time directing the award-winning P.D. Hinduja Hospital in Mumbai, and my own work takes me across the world, from taking care of the bank in Geneva, to Paris and Monaco, to London, New York, and Dubai, and of course, Mumbai. We have been keen to extend our family's global vision to our business. At Hinduja Bank, for example, we offer an east-to-west bridge for our clients, allowing them to unlock opportunities in Europe, the Middle East, and of course the growth markets of South Asia. I'm pleased to lead a globalized business as I am to have a globalized family. This is a value which I'm happy to see is shared by the next generation. My daughter Lavanya and my son Karam are without doubt citizens of the world. And at the same time, we all remain keenly aware and justly proud of our Indian heritage. Looking at my children and what they've already achieved makes me encouraged for the future of the next generation. Perhaps more than any generation before them, the millennials and the centennials are outward-looking and eager to take advantage of all the opportunities of new business links between India and the UK. But I'm also keenly aware of the challenges faced by the next generation. One of the most significant being the need to boost women's empowerment in the global British and Indian workforce. The gap is closing strongly and surely. This is a cause for which I have fought all my life. As the chair of Hinduja Bank Switzerland, I'm keenly aware of my role as a woman in a position of leadership and influence. I'm very grateful that I have had the chance to excel, to lead, and to be a role model. Yet at the same time, I look forward to a future environment in which my experience of being a woman in business is the role, not the exception. This is hugely important for the next generation. That is why today it's so exciting. We're on the cusp of a new era of gender balance in the industry. But it won't happen automatically. We are the ones who must work proactively to bring it about. We must help bring up our children to carry it forward. I want to do all I can to ensure that the entrepreneurial-minded girls growing up in Britain and India today find themselves with the means with which to pursue their dreams. It is one of my worldwide endeavors. For too many, however, this better, more open-minded environment of gender equality remains too far off. As uncomfortable as it may be, we need to confront the scale of the problem we face, both here and in India. Even now, well into the 21st century, women remain hopefully underrepresented in business. And I can tell you from my personal experience, even in Swiss banking, that is very much the case. A lot of what you're hearing here is all based on true human experience by myself. Why is this? Our mothers need to be our example. Their plight should show us that mothers today should help inspire fathers so that both sons and daughters are treated equally. I'm especially blessed to have had a mother and an example whose power has complementary light to my father's vision for us. Just look at the UK. British women have the skills to succeed and reach the top. They are a third more likely to attend higher education than their male counterparts. But this is not matched by equality in the workforce. I see the problem especially manifest in the traditional conservative financial sector, where boardrooms are still dominated by men. I find myself consciously thinking about my clothes when I should be thinking about my work. I may make a conscious decision to put on a suit jacket for a meeting, for example. Why should I do that? Is it because I grew up seeing men in charge dressed in suits? Do I feel that I won't be taken seriously unless I'm dressed like them? Do we have these insecurities? Do I believe men have these expectations? Probably both. There is so much to be done from a woman's perspective. From a man's perspective, also, and to change these issues. India is unfortunately another country which is not unlocking its significant potential for women entrepreneurs. The World Economic Forum places the country among the top 20 worldwide for representation of women in political leadership. This is wonderful, but alas, it has not translated into the world of business. The country still has much to do to close the gender gap in the labor force. Indian women still spend more time than men on unpaid tasks, by a factor of 5. Until half of the population fully participates in the economy, India will find it hard to develop inclusively and sustainably. Progress continues, but at too slow pace for many, including myself. I want to see the outcome of taking the revolutionary road. All of us involved in these changes are anxious to see these results. Now, it would of course be remiss of me to ignore the rather large elephant in the room. And I do not mean an Indian elephant. We are now just some 400 hours away from one of the most significant developments in Britain's modern history. I hope that whatever the form Brexit takes, governments and business can continue to help to bring companies and entrepreneurs in the UK closer to their Indian partners, allowing them to make best use of shared talent and expertise. It is up to other noted speakers here to discuss Brexit, as I'm sure they will. For my part, I would stress that helping women find equality in the business world is a much longer-term challenge. We cannot afford to let other short-term issues, as important as they may be, take our attention from it. The battle for gender equality is an issue that strikes at the heart of civilization and humanity. This is a fight which has gone on way, way longer than debates over Britain's place in the EU, and will continue to do so long after a lasting settlement is reached. In fact, unlike the issues raised by Brexit, the state of women's empowerment in business is not an issue that can be solved by any international treaty. Cross-party parliamentary consensus will not be able to tackle it either. Technology or movement of people would not provide an answer, nor can regulation alone grapple with it. So how can we improve women's participation in the workforce? First, both the business community and government must get a sense of the challenge at hand. This is crucial as we are to stand any chance of boosting women's position in British and Indian business and access to leadership positions, or of rallying new support. Success will only come with the support of both the public and private sectors. It is necessary to have visible and high-achieving women in all walks of life. Women in high, powerful positions in business are encouraging role models, even as they suffer all their trials and tribulations to get where they are. They are inspiring for the rest of us still on this journey. I have worked very hard to get where I am today, at least I hope so, to be respected as a woman in the leading position that I hold at the bank. Girls growing up today and looking up to women like me should not have to believe that we're an exception. Second, we need education to prepare the groundwork for a better gender balance in our children's generation. Boys need to be raised to value girls as equals in the schoolroom so that they grow up to treat them as equal colleagues in the boardroom. Otherwise, men who cannot comprehend what it is to be a working woman, like me, target us. They do not understand us, so they fear us and criticize and marginalize us. Third, we need parents to value girls' education as much as, if not more than, their school education. Fathers, as much as mothers, must help raise their girls with a dedication to work, instilling in them a passion for learning and a grasp of the dignity that only comes from equality, just as my father did for me. Even if fathers have wanted their daughters to work, the cultural, socioeconomic, historical, and family environments may not have allowed their wishes to come true. How far are fathers willing to buck their trend, or this trend? Being a leading professional woman is difficult enough, but as I was the firstborn, I was expected and indeed encouraged to do it. My father has always been a great visionary for women's empowerment, and that meant I've had to step up to the plate. Only through advancing gender equality can the next generation of British and Indian commercial partnerships truly thrive. According to estimates from the World Economic Forum, if Britain could close its gender gap, it could add an extra $250 billion to its economy, and India many billions more. But looking at the diversity on display here today among such innovative and high-caliber British and Indian businesses fills me with confidence for the future. It is one of the great causes of optimism in the world today that women are now truly beginning to define their roles, rather than having their roles define them or defined for them, as has happened all too often throughout history. To keep driving progress, we need to make it clear that it is not just the respect for a woman with a high-profile job or who is in a position of influence that is important. Being the female chair of a bank certainly takes hard work from one person. Bringing about change, equality, and diversity in the workplace at large will require all of us to move mountains. And I'm sure we can move them. I hope that you all support me in this quest for the benefit of future generations of British and Indian women As a mixture of both, this is my mission. But I need so many more people to help champion this cause. And thank you so much for being here and having the patience to hear me. Thank you.